Yes, hello, and welcome back to the Level Cap podcast, where you can enjoy audible content related to level 99 games or otherwise.
Alright, my Robo Marco is complete.
Beep,
With this, I will never have to worry about terrible impressions ever again.
beep, boop. I am
I'll
Robo
just-
Marco. Ha, ha, ha.
I'll just have you always impersonate Cadenza now. It'll work great.
Ah, yes, exterminate, exterminate. Greetings.
Alright, that's just a regular Dalek.
Greetings, Flesh Brad.
Alrighty, well, Robo Marco, what do you have on the Robo schedule for us to Robo Day?
Yes, all systems at maximum capacity. Today's podcast will be amazing. I can't keep up this voice. It hurts.
Oh, well, it's a valiant effort.
Oh my gosh. Welcome, everybody, to the Level Cap podcast. I hope you are all doing well today because I am doing well. How about you, Brad? How are you on this fine New Mexico morning?
I'm doing good. It's another morning over here in sunny New Mexico, and just planning to settle in for a day of working on 7th Cross and, doing some advertising and etc. How about yourself, Marco?
Pretty much not the same. I don't get to work on cool projects like 7th Cross.
Well, you don't have to work on the weekend either, I would wager.
Yeah, that's fair. Though with day job and level 99 game stuff, I usually have to do recordings on weekends. I have a lot of interesting news for today, but we're going to push that over to the end in our News 99 segment. But for now, I'm doing fine, doing dandy. I'm just a bit sad.
Why? Why are you so sad?
I've lost 12 games, Brad, of BattleCon Temporal Odyssey Mixed. I've only won once in the past week.
Oh my goodness. Well, hopefully we get those, what's the word, the ladders up in the next bit, so that you can kind of you can play against people who are matching skill level.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's important for the health of a game.
Well, that's fine. I mean, like, so long as you take it as a learning opportunity, right?
Yeah. I guess so. Well, speaking of BattleCon Online, the alpha is now open.
Oh, it is?
It is, yeah. We launched it yesterday by inviting about 200 people. We're going to invite about 200 more people every day until everybody who backed the original Kickstarter project is invited.
Okay,
yeah.
I was almost about to ask, did you invite me yet? And then I realized I already play this game.
Yeah. I mean, you're invited, Marco.
Oh,
Welcome.
Gee, thanks, Brad. I've never been invited to something before.
Yeah, there you go. Well, yeah, I mean, if you're listening to this now and you didn't get an invitation and you backed the original project, you can just log in. It's not like a hard invitation where you have to show the invite to get in or anything. It's just, if you have a battleconnection.com account, and that account is working, then you can join the Discord server and play. And I've posted it on battleconnection.com, or on the BattleCon online Kickstarter page, how you can do that. Just check our latest update.
Yay! That's awesome, man. Now I can finally play against people who aren't like the people who play literally every day.
Yeah, man, people are really good. I was distressed when because everybody's better than me at BattleCon now.
Yeah,
I guess I got to make a new game so that I can be the best again.
Oh my gosh, that's true. So it's been a while. It's been a while actually since I've played as much BattleCon as I have in the past 2 weeks, right? You know, real life and, you know, making video content for a game is ironic because you end up not being able to play the game as much, right? Because
well, you got to do a stream where you just play Cadenza over and over and over again, and that's when we talk about all the different attacks and interactions and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's so interesting, and it's so weird because, like, I thought I was good at this game, Brad. I thought. Okay, and then like
Oh, stop it! Stop your lamentation. I'm sure that you're still great at this game. You know, you probably don't want to play. I don't think anybody wants to play against the balanced team, though. Like that's These guys are super serious.
Yeah, they are. They are, and it's pretty funny though, because it's like I just imagine like the supposedly grizzled veteran, and then you come into it, and then it's like everything's different now. What's this? My
Yeah.
dashes aren't safe anymore, and then like some kid comes along, kicks your butt, and he goes, "The future is now, old man," or something like that, right?
Yep, this is modern warfare.
It's exactly modern warfare. My gosh, Brad, I have
Oh, me.
something to ask you though.
Yeah.
What have you been playing this week?
This week, do you want to know what our game club game for this week is? Or do you want to know what I've actually been playing? Because I played our game club game like 3 weeks ago.
Oh, it's okay. Okay. So let's do game club game then. Because look, this was
Okay, so
supposed
you
to
don't
be
really
cool-
care what I've been playing. You
Hey.
you just want a scripted answer. I see.
I just.
All right.
I thought you just played. It
I
this
have
week.
been playing Cuphead nonstop, Marco.
Excellent. Now that my Robo Brad is here, I can now give bad prompts and horrible jokes, and he must like them.
Like,
Share, subscribe.
share, subscribe, love.
What is love, Robo Brad? What is love?
It's when you click the heart on Facebook.
Oh, I see.
That's a real thing.
Oh my gosh. Is that what that
It's
reaction's
like two.
called?
It's like 2 likes at once. Yeah. That's what the action is called. The heart action is called love.
Love. Oh my gosh. I
Yeah.
guess we've programmed love into our computers. That's good to know. Robo
Yep.
Brad, tell me what our game club game of this week is.
Our game club game of this week is Cuphead.
Yes.
So if you haven't heard, Cuphead is this new shmup game. Apparently, I learned that it's based on a game called Alien Warrior. Or at
Really?
least there's some real similarities.
Wait a
that
minute.
came out on the Genesis.
That's a shmup?
No, it's not a shmup. What am I
It's
thinking?
a side-scrolling
just-
shooter game.
Yeah, it's a side-scrolling shooter game. I guess it's a run and gun, but it's not really run and gun. It's regular, it's just gun.
It's Mega Man.
It's like
it's like Mega Man.
yeah, it's like Contra. It's like Contra if there were only bosses.
Yes. Also, there's another cool thing. Maybe you think it's a shmup because it does have shmup levels.
Yeah, there are definitely like levels where you gotta. I mean, the whole game is about dodging a lot of bullets while shooting at the enemies. So, you kind of know what it is. This is a very classic formula, and Cuphead is a very classic game. What really makes it unique is the art style.
Yes. Because everything looks like a 40s cartoon.
Yeah, it's really gorgeous. Like the animation is great. The music is great. It's quite fun. The bosses are very whimsical. They have a lot of modes. They transform like 3 or 4 times every boss fight.
Yes.
So it's pretty cool, and it's tough. Like the game is not easy.
Yeah.
It's got classic difficulty. It's like Nintendo hard.
It's Nintendo hard, yes. Well, old
Although
Nintendo
you don't
hard.
have to start from the beginning. You don't have to start from the beginning every time, like you do with the Nintendo games.
Really? No. Well, old Nintendo games, right? Like, current
Yeah.
Nintendo games aren't like that anymore. But the thing about Cuphead, like you were...
Yeah, nobody makes games like that anymore.
No, yeah, because then nobody would play your game, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
I think Cuphead's really fun. I like that it's a big boss rush mode. It's essentially a giant boss rush game, right?
Yeah,
That's what it is.
essentially.
And every boss has so many phases, right? Like there's a boss I think that's like a 5-phase boss, but every boss is still only like a minute or 2 long, right? Like
Mhm.
assuming you do it correctly. And I think that's a big thing about Cuphead that I end up liking is that the aesthetic matches so well with the video game idea of boss phases, because everything's like a 1940s cartoon. So if you don't know that aesthetic, or if you're too young to know what those are, like imagine your Steamboat Willies, right, where all the characters have like stretchy limbs or whatever. Like when you see modern day characters have quote unquote cartoon force or toon force powers, that's what they're trying to emulate, like the old cartoons. And so it means that every time these bosses change phase, they turn insane. Like there's a character who is a helicopter with arms and legs, transforms into various symbols of the zodiac, and then transforms into a crescent moon as her final form. None of that makes sense, but because it's a 1940s art style, it works.
I mean, yeah, like if you're listening to this, you just gotta watch the video and see how Cuphead looks, because we can't really explain it, do it justice. The game is really visually beautiful.
Yes.
But what would you say about the gameplay?
It's hard. Oh my gosh, the gameplay of Cuphead, Brad. What did you think about it? Right, you were a Mega Man fan. I was a Mega Man fan. So we have a really good point of reference.
I don't think Mega Man is really the point of reference for this game. I think that Contra is the point of reference.
Actually, yeah. To be fair, I think it is more like Contra, especially with like the multi-directional shooting.
Yeah, it's an 8-directional shooter. You move around, you dodge bullets, you shoot at bad guys. The gameplay is really simple, and in that case, it feels a lot like these old games. The variety comes not from your characters, but it comes from the bosses in the game. And it's pretty cool, and it makes it a good party game because you only have to adapt to the one situation in front of you. But it makes for like a less solid solo experience because you kind of fall into one character archetype that works for you, and then you stick with that.
Yeah.
So the only thing that gets better between fights typically is your own personal skill, like your Twitch platforming shooting skills. Your characters don't get any stronger throughout the game, and except for like when you buy a new trinket, but you can only equip like 3 of those anyway, so you're not going to actually get stronger after at the second time you go to the shop.
Yeah.
But that's fine. I mean, it's just a different style of gaming, and I like a game that gives you as the player a lot of tools. Whereas this game gives you a very small set of tools, and you use those to solve a large variety of bosses.
Yeah.
It's just a different way of shifting the variety in the game.
Yeah, I guess I tend to compare it a lot to Mega Man because it offers you a lot of weapons, right? So you have different bullet types in the game that you buy from the shop. You start off with like the typical you shoot in one direction bullet, right? But then you suddenly get homing bullets, or bullets that go in an arc, or bullets that shoot spread shots, or whatever. And I think the developers were really smart, because actually I think they designed a lot of the bosses to become easier if you use certain bullet types against them.
I think that's true, but I think that the chase shot just makes all the bosses easy.
Yes. So this
it's kind of the metal blades of Cuphead.
Yeah. So this is what I wanted to talk about. This is one of my discussion points, actually. I like so Cuphead, if you've been reading a lot of popular media out there, has gotten a lot of reception for being a super hard game. Hence why a lot of the media calling it Dark Souls. Oh
my goodness! Every game that is hard is not Dark Souls.
Yeah, I know. But
it's oh man. Okay.
Yeah, they called it like I think one of the headlines was like Cuphead. Is it the new Dark Souls? Or like Cuphead is hard, but it's not Dark Souls. I'm like, can we just stop comparing everything to Dark Souls?
Can't we get past Dark Souls?
Yeah, exactly. It's like people can't get over it. It's like they're so hung up about Dark Souls. They just want Dark Souls 4. But so here's my thing about it. It's like,
well, I do too, but that's neither here nor there. So, actually, I want Bloodborne too. I liked Bloodborne more than Dark Souls. But that's that. We're Cuphead. Stop. Dark Souls. No. Yep. Cuphead.
Okay. So, but like
you started it.
Oh my gosh. No. So this is what I was talking about. Dark Souls. Sorry. Cuphead is a hard game, right? Cuphead is an absolutely hard game. But the developers basically gave you an easy mode, because you could pick normal mode or easy mode when you enter a boss fight. But what they didn't tell you was that you could actually make the game even easier by just using Chase Bullet, right? Like, they basically hard-coded a third difficulty setting into the game by just giving you access to basically the most OP thing you could have in a side-scrolling shoot-'em-up game, which is bullets that don't need to be aimed.
Yeah,
because then you could just.
I mean, because once you do that, you just have to dodge the boss until they die.
Exactly, and
yeah,
like I think it makes the game like better and or worse, because it's like, you know, it's an easy out for people who can't beat certain bosses, right? And heck, the super that they give it. So like when you just in case you didn't know, for the listener, if you shoot bullets a lot, you gain a meter, and then when you fill up the meter, you gain access to a super move, right? Chase Shot's super move is literally Leaf Shield from like Mega Man. It makes this protective ring of bullets around you. So it's like the entire weapon set is literally easy mode. Because not only is the weapon easy to aim, the super it gives you makes it so that you're less likely to die.
Yeah. I mean, it's a great weapon, and if you're having trouble on a boss, you know you can use it. But I have friends and they play the game and they're like, yeah, like we know what that weapon is, we're just not going to use it.
For the challenge.
And even though it's the most powerful, yeah, like even though it's the most powerful weapon, they just decide not to use it because they want the full game experience, and they understood immediately upon just reading the description of the weapon that, oh, this is the third difficulty level. That's like intermediate, easy, hard mode.
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
it's so good though, because if you're not savvy enough, right? Like if you're not the kind of gamer who's played a lot of these like side-scrolling shoot 'em up games, right? Like Gunstar Heroes or whatever, right? It's like
Mhm.
you don't realize it. You just feel smart for like abusing this mechanic in the game, but you don't realize that it's just the third difficulty setting. And like being that Cuphead is a game that's being played by a lot of like non-hardcore.
a lot of people will play it just for the art.
Yeah, exactly. I think it was a smart move on the developer's side to include something like that without making it blatantly obvious. So it's good. I mean, like Cuphead is a great game. Would you say you recommend it, Brad?
Yeah, I would say I recommend Cuphead. It's I mean, it's a good game to play with a friend. Like if you know, it's a good couch co-op. It's pretty chaotic, but if you enjoy that kind of thing, I would recommend it, definitely.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I don't think we mentioned this, but the soundtrack is so good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it sounds just like its era.
Yeah, it sounds just like its era. They even like put it's not very very clear, but like if you listen hard enough, all of the game actually has that the grainy sound when you watch
that
those
audio
old movies.
Grain. Yeah, that audio grain that you get on those old theater reels.
Yeah, so the entire game sounds like the era, and it's just, I don't know, it's just so good. I don't know, the presentation is just so good. Like the game is well designed for bosses. Like the parts of the game I hate the most are the non-boss levels, but those are far and few in between, because I don't think they're just well designed stages at all. I think they're just all kind of haphazardly put together.
They're pretty tough, yeah, and you can tell that it wasn't the heart of the game because they're all optional.
Yes,
but the only reason you need to do them is to unlock more coins so you can get the other weapons. So, and the game gives you enough money to get the 3 weapons you want inherently. So, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't think it's a big deal.
It's not a big deal, but like that's if the one thing I hate the most about the game is completely optional, that speaks a lot about how good the game is, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's true.
So that's Cuphead, everyone. If you guys want to suggest a new game club for our Game Club game segment, please tell us in the comment section down below. We will get to that game at some point. However, I want to give a small caveat. A lot of people sometimes send in suggestions for games that Brad and I aren't very likely to be able to play because they're like old games or whatever. I think somebody suggested something that was only playable on like the old Dreamcast or something. Like guys, if it's just makes
if it's not on Steam, it's going to be really difficult for us to play.
Yeah.
But that said, just about everything's on Steam these days.
Yeah. Except console exclusives. But like, yeah, so like when you suggest a game, please make sure it's easily accessible on like a platform like Steam. Please.
Yeah.
All right. So Brad, now that we're finished our Game Club game segment, activate your next segment protocols. Cyber Brad.
Oh yeah. News.
Cyber Brad, your programming is wrong because there is another segment before that. In fact, there are 2 segments before that.
Well, maybe Marco, maybe if you know so wise about all the segments, maybe you should just announce the segments yourself. Yeah.
Which I do every week, Brad.
Yeah, okay.
All right, okay, fine. Our next segment is our Character of the Week. Brad, tell me, our Character of the Week this week is...
Our Character of the Week this week is Fulton Suitcase from Millennium Blades.
Ah, yes, you mean Kaiba Maximilian Pegasus.
Yeah, Kaiba Pegasus Suitcase from Millennium Blades. So this is like all the Millennium Blades characters. Fulton Suitcase is kind of a trope character and he's built to embody the player who plays CCGs for the money. He's not but he's not like a store owner. Like Mori is a store owner. But Fulton is like a aftermarket dealer. So he buys and sells singles, effectively, to try and understand the card market and make money when cards get really powerful in the meta, that sort of thing.
I see. I read, from what I understand, Fulton is basically like an investor, right? But instead of investing in stocks, he just invests in cardboard.
Yeah, basically. So he's got kind of that. He's got sort of that rich, flamboyant flair. I mean, he does invest in stocks too, but he also invests in card games because card games are a major stock in the world of Millennium Blades.
Yeah, where literally it is a game that is 1,000-something years old, or is it actually a millennium?
Everybody plays it.
Is it a millennium years old?
Yeah. That's when the set rotation occurs after 1,000 years.
Oh my gosh. I just can't get over the fact that in the fiction of Millennium Blades, this children's card game is so integral to everyone's lives. It's great. It's an institution, right? Like there are probably schools for it.
The way we explain it is that in the world of Millennium Blades, collectible card games are only slightly more important than they are in our world.
Only slightly?
Only slightly.
Are you sure?
You can take that whichever way you want.
Oh my gosh. So Brad, tell me. Full-on suitcase. So he's meant to embody secondary market dealers. How is he?
Yeah, the players that play for money. You say what?
So how does he like what was the concept behind his aesthetic? Like his look. I know the concept for his archetype.
I mean he's very much inspired by the Yu-Gi-Oh villains, Maximilian Pegasus and Kaiba. Kaiba mainly because he carries around the suitcase full of trading cards.
Oh, like Kaiba does.
And then Pegasus because he's got that rich flamboyant flair. So he's kind of a combination of these two characters. And he is, I guess, a person who is not afraid to pay a lot of money for singles that he wants. He's all about having the one best card in the game. And because as long as he has the best card in the game, he gets a bunch of bonus points at the end of every tournament.
Yeah.
So his goal is not always just to build a really solid deck. He wants to build a deck that's going to show off this one really cool power card that he's built up. Yeah.
Oh, let's move on to mechanics. You want?
Well, we're talking about him a little bit already, but his main mechanic is he's got two abilities. The first one is that he starts with more money than everyone else. That's kind of obvious, right? Like he just has more money than other characters.
Dollar bills, yo.
Yeah, $45 instead of $30 means that he's got 50% more money than the other players. His second ability doesn't come into play that often, but it is pretty good. And it's that he can pay $1 to look at a pack in the store and see it, and then decide if he wants to buy it. So you can pay $1, look at the pack, and then if you want the pack, you can spend, the pack's price and buy it. This lets you avoid buying, poor booster packs.
Yep.
And then there's actually a great joke about this. One of the ads we ran during the original Millennium Blades Kickstarter was this ad that said, what was it? It was like CCG dealers hate him. Rich guy knows one weird trick to always open rare cards in booster packs.
I mean,
and it showed a picture of Fulton, holding his cards.
Yeah.
And that ad generated a lot of interest in the game.
Yeah, because it's, oh my gosh, that was one of the ads I saw, and I was like, I'll play this character now. I have this character. I will play him. He's so good. He's my favorite character in all of Millennium Blades. In case you guys didn't know, he is also my Millennium Blades main. So, yeah,
he's a pretty fun character.
Yeah,
I quite enjoy playing as Fulton.
Actually, I really like. Oh, by the way, his tournament power, on the other hand, is that he can. I think he can spend dollars to make his stuff bigger. Right?
Yeah, he can spend dollars for star tokens on his cards, and then at the end of the tournament, if if he has the highest star card among all players, then he gets a bonus.
Yeah, like a 15-point bonus or something. It's not that big.
It's not a big bonus. It's not as good. It's certainly not as good as Sure and Dex powers, because they're very tournament focused characters. But it's about as good as Cardine's power and Mori's power.
Yeah, but Fulton makes up for it, because I think a lot of Fulton's power is actually front loaded into the deck building phase, right? Because
yeah,
as a
absolutely.
Fulton player, getting access to that extra 15 Millennium bucks at the start of every deck building phase means that Fulton can buy way more stuff than everyone, which makes sense, right? Because he's the richest man in the game. But the thing is that a lot of people may not know this, but when you're playing Fulton, it's actually in your best interest to just buy every single core set card that comes onto the board. Like as Fulton, you see a core set, you buy it because you can afford 5 extra core sets because of that extra 15 Millennium bucks you get. But the big thing here is that this gives you the biggest chance to pull the I don't know what do you call them? Like the one-off singles that are like Chase the Price Sculptor.
The legendary singles in core set.
Yeah.
They're good. I think that core set certainly appreciates the most. So if you invest in the core set, you're most likely to get more than a 3-star card for your $3.
Mm-hmm.
That said, they are some of the more what's the word? The economy of core set is actually a little bit worse than the expansions and premiums. So like, there's actually a scale for this. Like, when a core set card is a 6-star, it generates about 20 points, and when a premium card is a 6-star, it generates about 30 points. And when a gold or a master card is 6-star, it generates about 35 points.
Oh,
like so for the same amount of money, you actually get better payoffs in the packs, but then you have to integrate a more difficult strategy, typically.
Yeah, definitely. The core set tends to give you cards that are good on their own, especially if you pull one of the legendaries, right? Most of the legendaries are like something you just splash into every deck. In the sense that they're all like Dr. Boom from old Hearthstone, right? But like, Fulton really appreciates pulling a lot of cards from the core set as well, because it's the cheapest set, right? It's the cheapest set that you can buy. And then Fulton can start trading all of those cards off for promos, which often have high star values, which help him get his tournament power upgraded and help him win clashes more and all that stuff, you know.
Especially if you're playing with the promos where the 10-star guys are in. That can be a really strong strategy too, because you can effectively just buy one of the 10-star characters, and that'll kickstart his tournament scoring ability.
Yeah, and that kind of plays a lot into the strategy. Like, the moment you play Fulton, every single character in the game technically tends to favor certain card sets that exist in the game. Like, Moray, for example, has the ability to load the top of the store deck. So, like, if you're playing with, like, Cards Magica or the Vex set, right? Those tend to be sets that care about what card is on top of the store. Moray tends to really love those kinds of cards. On the other hand, since Fulton can pump his cards really well and benefits from having high star dudes, he likes a lot of the cards that benefit based on star tokens, right? Benefit on star tokens, benefit on high star value cards. And of course, he's really good at
He really
clashing.
likes cards that'll let him. He'll really likes cards that'll let him spend money. Most of all.
Oh yeah.
Like because like if he gets a hold of, let's say, the arcade set 1000 pixel cabinet, where he can spend money to make those cards stronger. Like, that's a big thing that can make him care more about the tournament phase than about the deck building phase.
Yeah. Fulton doesn't tend to win a lot of tournaments.
Yeah, but with the right things, like with the Blastoff guys, I think it's Galaxy Caboose,
Galactic Caboose.
Yeah, the 1000 pixel cabinet, Game of Rings is really good for him. Stuff like that.
Yeah,
things that focus on one really powerful card tend to do well for Fulton.
Yeah, which tends to like again, when you're talking about his playstyle as a character and his theme, that's exactly what he's all about, right? Finding one big card and then building the entire deck around it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, which means that Fulton is also one of the slowest characters in the game when it comes to tournaments, because most of his decks tend to be heavy score decks, and that's horrible. It's horrible because you're so susceptible to disruption. So if you're playing Fulton, pack a lot of deck protectors.
Double sleeve.
You're gonna need those double sleeves. What else? What else about Fulton? Oh, and here's the thing. Sometimes though, if you're not gonna win tournaments and if you're not gonna be really good with deck building, sometimes Fulton can just win by being super rich.
Yes, and that's the primary. I mean, you should look to make most of your points on cash at the end of the game. Like, definitely have more money than everybody else. If Mori's there, he might be able to beat you. It's a pretty close race between these guys. Mori, I think, has the advantage in a higher player count game. I think Fulton has the advantage in a lower player count game.
Definitely true.
But either way, you can race for money, and you can make money your real win condition. And see where that takes you. But anyway, there's a lot of ways to play Fulton, and he's just one piece of the big puzzle of all the cards you get in Millennium Blades.
And that's just one character. There's like 5, 6 more, depending on whether or not you have the expansions. So, Brad, would you say that people should screw the rules because they have money?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. So that pretty much does it for our character of the week, featuring Fulton Suitcase. Oh, wait, I just got it now. His name is like a full and a ton.
Yeah, Fulton Suitcase. So he's got a full suitcase of cards.
Ah.
Get it? Everybody's name in this game is a pun. I mean, you get that, right? Like, you're not late to the party on this one.
I don't know Moray Cardman's. Like, I don't understand.
It's just more cards.
Oh my gosh. Okay, because
Yeah.
Dex Aplenty is obvious, right?
Yeah.
And then there's a Sure Winner, which is obvious, and Cardine Collecta, again, obvious. Like, they all have really, really, how do I explain it? They have really obvious names as to what their character is all about, right? Like, Dex Aplenty is a character who likes building a lot of decks. Sure Winner is a character who wins tournaments a lot, right? What else?
Yeah. And then Mori Cardman's character that can buy and sell a lot of cards, and Cardine Collecta is a character that is really good at building fusions and collections
and
stuff like that. Yeah.
Fulton Suitcase has a lot of money in his suitcase, and I think the only character who doesn't have a name that points to their playstyle is Power Creep. So,
well, Power Creep plays the meta, so even he does.
Oh, because Power Creep is a meta concept. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Fine.
It seems silly, but a lot of thought went into these.
All right. Oh, fine. Do the expansion characters do this? Oh, Pritchard Letfield doesn't. So
he doesn't. But like Let's Trade is the character with the trading powers. Cardinal Bans is the character who's like a tournament judge and can ban cards.
Yes.
And then
Rarity is
Card Shark just eats cards
because he's a card shark.
Yeah.
And Rarity, what does Rarity do again?
So Rarity Sikar, which is like Rarity Seeker.
Oh my god.
Is the character that's really good at card fusion.
And fusion
so getting the gold and silver promos. Yeah. And then Shafiel Descartes is Shuffle the Cards, right? And she's the character that's like the casino player that gets all the random cards every game.
Oh. Wait.
And then,
how about Grelin Alcartone?
So Grelin Alcartone is like, I want to say Portuguese for like deep fried cards or something. I don't know. Like, you'd have to ask Fabio for Grelin Alcartone, but I like Alcartone is definitely like Portuguese for something card related.
I see. And Pro Tour Von Grand Prix is Pro Tour Von Grand Prix.
Yeah, Pro Tour Grand Prix, right?
Oh my gosh. See, this is why I love Millennium Blades and at the same time absolutely hate it, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, we got good ones. We got good ones for collusion as well.
Ooh. Well,
Yeah.
Or do you want to spoil them on podcast or?
I only remember one right now, which is Raul Sawyer.
Raul Sawyer? Huh? Okay.
Yeah.
What's the pun here?
For Rules Lawyer.
Oh no! Wait, what's his power? What's his power set?
Well, I don't want to spoil before collusion, but basically he's a rules lawyer, right? So he has rules lawyery type of powers.
So he's a huge jerk, is what you're saying.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
There aren't really any. I mean, aside from Sure, who's a bit of a jerk, there aren't really any like mean characters in Millennium Blades.
Are you sure
so.
Cardinal Bands isn't one of them?
That's true. He is, but he's almost a parody of like. I mean, he's totally a parody of how mean he is.
Okay, I see. Like, okay, I see. He plays up a character. He's not actually.
Yeah. He's he's almost like fictional in his in how and he honestly he's mechanically mean. I don't know that it means he's like actually mean in person. Whereas like Sure will trash talk you.
Yeah, because she's an alpha.
Even when she's giving out friendship cards.
Oh yeah, her friendship. Well, to be fair though, Fulton's friendship card quotes are also pretty like Kaiba-y, like Kaiba mean.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, what do you call this? I think one of his friendship cards is like his 3-star friendship card says, "Just take it. I have 100 of those."
Yeah, something like that.
Oh my gosh. Alright, so that pretty much does it for Character of the Week. If you want us to talk about a specific character from one of our games or universes, please put them in the comment section down below. Or send us an email or get to us. You know all the emails by now. If not, you can just put it in the comment section down below. No emails required. Brad, are you ready for our next segment?
I think so. Is this the news? Are we going to do the news now?
Brad, it's 99 question segment.
What? I thought that was the last segment.
No, the last segment is always the news or the pitch.
Marco, I'm so confused.
Oh no, it's okay, Mechanical Brad. We can still fix you.
All right, let's talk about 99 questions.
All right, 99 questions, Brad.
Hurry this up so I can get to the news.
Yes. Okay. What kind of community content would you like to see submitted for publication on the Level 99 Games website? I think this is mostly directed at me because it says Marco in it.
Oh, really? Well, in that case, just to upset people, I will answer it.
Okay, go.
All right. That question is so ridiculous. I'm going to have Marco answer it.
Oh my god.
That's my answer.
Okay, so here's my answer. I want articles. So many articles about how our games are similar to Dark Souls, right?
Okay, you're fired. Fired.
Okay, quits podcast. That's a joke. That's a joke. That's a joke. Don't send me Dark Souls.
No. Yeah, don't. Please don't do that.
Please. No, but seriously, I want. We would really appreciate some articles about anything. We have this new daily content called weekly articles, where you can just submit any article you want for one of our games.
Wait. You have a daily content called weekly articles.
Yes.
So this is daily content that only runs once a week?
No, Brad. We have a category of content called daily content, and what that daily content is changes every day. It just so happens that the weekly article happens every week.
I think I get it. This is too confusing.
Oh my gosh, Brad! It's like things are daily.
But
things are daily. Okay, Brad. For example, things are daily, but Wednesdays only happen once a week.
I get it.
All right.
But I have really enjoyed reading the articles that people have written. And seeing more guides is always cool, especially Exceed. We haven't seen a lot of Exceed guides yet.
And I'm planning to ramp up on some Exceed guides because a lot of characters, a lot of people in the community have actually been pulling together. Somebody actually released or is about to release some Exceed videos too, so that's great.
Excellent.
Shout out to Wind Up Bird. Okay, next question.
Oh yeah, I saw the first one. They're pretty nice.
Yeah, they're pretty good. I mean, I think the quality is great. So, next question, Brad. When will organized play rewards be shipped? And will Season 1 and Season 2 go out together?
So, we will be shipping them, I know I've said this before, soon.
Nice. Soon TM. Wait, is this Blizzard soon?
No. So the truth is, we had planned to upgrade the Organized Play website, but building BattleCon Online took so much programmer resources that we haven't had time to fix the website the way we wanted, and we kept delaying shipping Organized Play rewards until we got the website fixed. It looks like if the website is not going to be done by the end of November, then we're going to just ship it all out manually. But if the website is done in November, then we will ship it out using the website's automations. So basically, no matter what happens, we will ship all the season rewards in November
for both 1 and 2.
We'll go ahead and ship 1 and 2 together. Yeah,
nice.
Because we don't want to get this far behind again.
I see.
Yeah, so I apologize to those of you guys who played Organized Play and are waiting on your rewards. It's just BattleCon Online has taken up like all of our time and resources.
I can understand that. Not that I really spent a lot of my time on BattleCon Online. I'd like to say sorry as well to everybody in the online Organized Play. I haven't submitted any of your games, mostly because the website is not done either. So it's okay. We're gonna get there.
Well, anyway, what's our next question?
Our last question, Brad, is: does Brad's wife enjoy gaming?
Well, I mean, casually with friends, right? Like we have friends and we get together and we play board games, but we play games, that are we play advanced games, but she tends to like Euro games and stuff more.
Oh,
anything with like a puzzle aspect to it is nice.
I see.
So, yeah.
Oh.
Her favorite game that I've made is Noir.
Oh, I can see that. I think my partner would also like Noir the most. I haven't really brought it up to them yet. Like, I haven't really presented Noir to them because it's...
Oh, Noir is a great couples game.
Yeah, it's really great because it's like, I guess it's the only time where you can laugh about accidentally killing your partner, right? So...
I guess so.
Right? Or you can be happy that you found your partner who is a serial murderer and, like, cuff them.
Some dark comedy there.
Some dark comedy, indeed.
But yeah, like Noir is a fun one. But yeah, that's that.
Here's the big question, though, Brad. Here's a follow up from me. Who's better at Noir, you or Linda?
That's a tough question. I think we're probably about even.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna be like, that's a loaded question. I answer wrong and I sleep on the couch.
Yeah, I mean, I think she actually does listen to this podcast. Mainly to make sure we don't talk about her too much. So I think we may have already stepped over a line.
Oh, quota. We've reached quota. Okay, let's end that segment. That's pretty much our 99 questions segment. Again, if you have any questions for me or Brad, please put them in the comment section down below and we will answer it to the best of our abilities. Now, Brad, what is our last segment?
I guess it's we're gonna do the pitch.
Brad, it's the news segment.
Oh, goody, news. I've been waiting on this.
Yes, finally. Welcome to our News 99 segment where we tell you guys all the news you want to hear about Level 99 games. Brad, do you have anything for us on this wonderful, wonderful episode?
Yeah, so this has been a really big news week. As you know, Temporal Odyssey, now on Kickstarter.
Woo!
Check it out. The game is funded. We are on the cusp of unlocking the third bonus traveler for the game, which will put our total for the game up to 8. Including the 2 Kickstarter bonus guys. After this, we get new classes, which is the really big stretch goal that we're very excited about. New classes means more modular setups, which means a lot more variety in the box.
And more strategies.
Yeah, and more potential strategies to unlock.
Yay!
The big news is BattleCon Online Alpha. The game is now in Alpha. If you back the Kickstarter project, you can sign in. You can get the link to our official Discord server, download the client, and play. Over the next few weeks, we will continue to be updating the game, adding new characters, adding new balance fixes, putting in friend match, AI, etc., as we get ready for beta, which will be like the full feature set. So... but the game is playable, it's stable, you can match with friends, enemies, frenemies, strangers, anything you want.
Whoa.
It's pretty cool. Marco's been playing it. Marco's been losing. You can sign in, you can beat Marco.
Oh my gosh.
It feels great.
Wow. Ow. My soul.
Yep. So try that out, and try to sign on and defeat Marco at least once per day for the next few weeks.
There's gonna be a
just so you
quest
can,
in the game called Defeat Marco. It gives you infinite gold. Or rather, it should give you no gold, because apparently beating me is an easy feat.
Ah.
Oh my gosh. Oh, so speaking of that, do you have any more news? Can I interrupt?
I think that is the main. Oh, one more news. Professor Treasure's Secret Sky Castle is now available.
Oh.
You can get it in the bundle with Temporal Odyssey on the Kickstarter page, but if you just want to get the game, it is now available for pre-order on our web store, and you can. It'll be coming out probably around February.
Oh, I see.
Next year.
So if you're into games like Noir or maybe like Cell Swords, this is in your alley. This is straight up your alley, right?
Yeah, I would say this is. This is like an abstract puzzle game. It's kind of in the same vein as Noir. In that two players are competitively moving cards around trying to solve the mystery and capture, but instead of solving the mystery, in this case, you're trying to capture treasures from your opponent.
Steal the treasure.
And clear out this castle. Yeah, so it's kind of this abstract strategy loot fest sort of game. It's fun. It's real fun.
How much of the...
But I guess I say that for every game we publish.
I mean, you don't...
But it's real fun.
You don't publish a game you don't like, right?
Absolutely not.
Definitely not. Oh, by the way, how much of the game's title is inspired by Hal's moving castle?
A significant portion.
I see.
It's a reasonable portion.
Okay.
But yeah, this game, like Noir, and maybe unlike Cell Swords, is a great game to play with, with your significant other or with your kids or with your parents. The game is just complex enough that you got to think real hard, but not too crazy that you have to remember a lot of stuff like Cell Swords. So it's a great game for for casual or for intermediate gamers as well. If you're trying to introduce someone to the hobby, it's a good game that you can show them to say like, here's the kind of games I play.
Oh, is this kind of like on the Sushi Go levels, or is it more like...
No. It's a little more. It's a bit more complex than that.
Okay.
Like I said, I think it's probably like a half step above Noir.
Okay.
Because instead of having like your two powers as Killer and Spectre, you've got like 9 guys that are on your team, but you play them one at a time, so you only have to worry about one power every single moment of the game.
Also, it's not that hard to remember everything. Okay.
Yeah, it's not like Cell Swords where you have to look at all the powers and decide how you want to build your army. It's more, I guess it's kind of a mix between like maybe I Can't Even and Noir, like that sort of level.
I see.
But I'd say it's a little higher than I Can't Even on the intensity scale.
It's a little bit higher than I Can't Even. All right, Brad, we're done.
Yeah.
We're done. I see. Okay.
Okay. Well, yeah. Did you? So you had some news you wanted to share?
Yeah, I had some news. So, in line with me losing a lot, right, in BattleCon Online, I have realized that as an old man, in terms of BattleCon years, right, I'm an old man when it comes to BattleCon. I actually don't have that much experience with the new sets, with the new characters, as well as with the what do you call this? With the new rules,
system changes like dodge and
force gauge,
force action, and
force special action, and all that stuff. I don't have so much experience in them, like not as much as I used to have with like original War and like Devastation, right? So this means that I'm basically learning BattleCon all over again. It's a whole new game for me. So I've decided to document my experiences of losing every single game that I play, apparently, into a YouTube series. So
this sounds awful.
What
are you gonna do when you win? What if you sign in and you win the first game? Then the series ends.
No. So the
pilot is finale.
The pilot is finale. This is ironic, right? But actually, the series is called Beat Me. Get it? Because like BattleCon turns are called beats. Anyway, and the thing is that it doesn't matter whether I win or lose, right? What matters is that the entire series is about... It's basically supposed to be this educational tutorial series where I basically give beat-by-beat analyses of BattleCon Online games. And when I lose, I talk about what I could have done better or the misplays that I made that led to that loss. And when I win, I can talk about stuff that I did right that made me win, or stuff that the opponent did wrong that made them lose, right? So this series is
I see.
This is more about like this is basically the BattleCon analysis show that everyone's been wanting me to make, right? And I've come up with a clever name for it, and this is a great place to start, especially since I'm also basically learning the game with everybody who's watching. So if you guys are interested in something like that, if you're listening to this podcast, I've already released the first episode of Beat Me. Let's just say that there's a twist ending. No, second news.
Do you win?
I'm not gonna spoil that.
I guess we have to watch the show.
Yeah, you have to watch the show. What do you call this? It's also almost the end of the month. If you're listening to this podcast right now, it's the start of November. That means I am about to or have already released the winners for our previous contest, not the Halloween contest, but the Argent Make Your Own Leader contest. Mm-hmm. Right?
Oh yeah. How did that come along?
It's going along well. It's pretty interesting. I didn't think there would be a lot of overlap when it comes to leaders, but somebody submitted Welsie twice, so it's pretty fun. It's pretty funny that there are.
That's right in line with the.
It's in character, right? Like if I wanted to,
absolutely.
If I had the power to put any of the candidates into the game, putting both Welsies in would be canonically okay. This is funny to me. But yeah.
Well, I look forward to reading these submissions. I think it's gonna be pretty cool.
It's gonna be pretty cool. There were some interesting submissions. Again, the Welsies were a big standout. Aside from that, I have no other news. So, Brad, let's end this podcast. Are you ready?
Yeah. Thank you guys for listening to the Level Cap podcast. We'll be back next week with more news, games, and updates, all things Level 99 games and otherwise.
Yes.
I'm your host, Brad Telton, joined by my robotic, metallic, sonorously mechanical co-host, Marco DeSantos.
Beep, boop, beep.
Also known as the Mechanic Critic.
Yes, mechanic. Emphasis on mechanic.
All right, and we will see you next time for more Level 99 games. As always, happy gaming.
Happy gaming!